Alright guys, this is Don't Tread on Me TV, also known as Skyfire Starscream. I have an important transmission for you. First off, I want to show you there's a website out there, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv, PrisonPlanet.com, hosted by Alex Jones out of Austin, Texas. He is the leader in the information war against the establishment, and he has prompted Charlie Sheen to do more, because Charlie Sheen came out in, I believe, 2006 saying that 9/11 was an inside job, and here we go, 20 minutes with the president from Charlie Sheen. Go ahead and Google it, 20 minutes with the president, Charlie Sheen, or look up Charlie Sheen Obama, and this is awesome. Take a look at this. Alright, reported by Charlie Sheen, Tuesday, September 8, 2009. Here we go. I'm just going to read the whole thing to you. I recently had the pleasure of sitting down with our 44th President of the United States of America, Barack Hussein Obama. While he was out promoting his health care reform initiative, I requested 30 minutes. Given the scope and detail of my inquiry, they said I could have 20 minutes, 1,200 seconds. Not a lot of time to question a president about one of the most important events in our American nation's history. The following is a transcript of our remarkable discussion. Now I'm just going to read it off. Charlie Sheen, good afternoon, Mr. President. Thank you so much for taking the time for your demanding schedule. Obama, my pleasure. The content of your request seemed like something I should carve out a few minutes for. Charlie Sheen, I should point out that I voted for you as your promise for hope and change, transparency, accountability, as well as putting government back into the hands of the American people struck a chord emotionally in me that I felt I had not had in quite some time, probably forever. And I appreciate that, Charlie. Big fan of your show, by the way. Sir, I can't imagine when you might have time to actually watch my show, given the measure of what you inherited. It says, I have a TiVoed on Air Force One. Nice break from the traveling press corps. He glances at his watch. Okay, Sheen, I'll take that as an invitation to cut to the chase, because Obama says, you got 19 minutes left. Obama, I'm all ears, or so I've been told. Sir, in the very near future, we will be experiencing our first 9/11 anniversary with you as Commander-in-Chief. Yes, a very solemn day in our nation, and a day of reflection, and yet a day of historical consciousness as well. Sheen, very much so, sir, very much indeed. Now, in researching your position regarding 9/11 and subsequent investigations that followed, am I correct in understanding that you fully support and endorse the findings of the Commission report, otherwise known as the official story? Obama, do I have any reason not to, given that most of us are presumably in touch with similar evidence? I really wish that were the case, sir. As are you aware, Mr. President, of the recent stunning revelations that 60% of the 9/11 commissioners have publicly stated that the government agreed not to tell the truth about 9/11 and that the Pentagon was engaged in deliberate deception about their responses to the attack? Obama, I am aware of certain infighting during the course of their very thorough and tireless investigation process. Sheen, Mr. President, it is hard to label this type of friction as infighting or to make an irresponsible leap to thorough, when the evidence I insist you examine regarding 6 of 10 members' statements are fact. At this point, Obama's senior aide walks up to Obama and whispers into his ear. Obama glances at his watch and nods, and the aide resumes his post at the doorway. I'm assuming he told him, we got to get out of here, dude. We can't get caught up in this. Obama, no disrespect, Mr. Sheen, but I have to ask that you seem to be implying with the initial direction of the discussion. Says, I am not implying anything, Mr. President. I am here to present the facts and see what you plan to do with them. Obama, let me guess, your facts, quote unquote, allegedly support the claims that are in the folders you brought with you. It says, Mr. Charlie Sheen says, a good guess, Mr. President. And then he hands a folder full of all this stuff. Everything's documented in this, every single page, and he goes through it page by page. Let's go. Charlie Sheen, again, sir, these are not my opinions or assumptions. This is a matter of public record, reported through mainstream media, painstakingly fact-checked and verified. The president glances at the folder. I hand it to him. Okay, Sheen, you'll notice, sir, that on page 1 of the dossier dated August 6 from Washington Post, a statement from John Farmer, senior counsel to the 9/11 Commission, is quoted in stating, I was shocked how different the truth was from the way it was described. Obama, as he glances down at the report, almost inaudible, he goes, He goes on further to state that NORAD air defense tapes told a radically different story from what had been told to us in the public for a few years. President continues to view the documents. Charlie Sheen on pages 2 and 3, sir, are statements as well from Commission Co-Chairman Thomas Keane and Lee Hamilton, Commission's Bob Kerrey, Timothy Romer, and John Lehman, as well as the statements of Commissioner Max Cleland, an ex-senator from Georgia who resigned saying this. It is a national scandal. The investigation is now compromised. One of these days we will have to get the full story because 9/11's issue is so important to America. But this White House, I think he's referring to the Bush White House, wants to cover it up. He also describes President Bush's desire to delay the process as not to damage the '04 re-election bid. They suspected deception to the point where they considered referring the matter to the Justice Department in a criminal investigation. Mr. President, this information alone is unequivocal grounds for a new investigation. Okay. Obama. Mistakes were clearly made, but we as people and as a country need to move forward. It is obviously in our best interest as democratic society to focus our efforts and our resources into the future of this great nation and our ability to protect the American people and our allies of this type of terrorism in the coming years. Sheen. Sir, how can we focus on this future? The Commission itself is a record stating that they still do not know the truth. Obama. Even if it is where you state, might in some way capacity begin to approach an open discussion or balanced debate. I can't speak for or about the discussion or decisions certain Commission members made during an extremely difficult period. Perhaps you should be interviewing them instead of me. Wait, don't tell me. I was easier to track down than them, right? Sheen. Not exactly, sir. But let's be honest. You're the President of the United States, the leader of the free world, and the buck stops with you. 9/11 has been a pretext for systematic dismantling of our Constitution and Bill of Rights. Your administration is reading from the same playbook as George Bush on America through documented secrecy and deception. Obama. Mr. Sheen, I'm having difficulty sitting here listening to you draw distorted parallels between Bush-Cheney regime and mine. Sheen. Mr. President, the parallels are not distorted just because you say they are. Let's stick to the facts. You promised to abolish the Patriot Act and voted to reauthorize it. You pledged to end warrantless wiretapping against the American people and now energetically defend it. You decried the practice of rendition and now continue it. You promised over and over again on the campaign trail that you would end the practice of indefinite detention, and instead you have expanded to permanent detention or detainees without trial. This far exceeds the outrage of the former administration. Call me crazy, Mr. President, but this is not your record. Obama. Mr. Sheen, my staff and I have authorized this interview based on a request to discuss 9/11 and deliver some additional information you're convinced I have not previously reviewed. Call me crazy, but it appears as though you're blindly wandering off topic. Sir, the examples I just illustrated are a direct result of 9/11. Obama. And I'm telling you that we must move forward. We must endure through these dangerous and politically challenging years ahead. Sheen, Mr. President, we cannot move forward with a bottomless warren of unanswered questions surrounding that day and its aftermath. Obama, I read the official report, every word, every page. Perhaps you should too. Sheen, I have, sir, and so have thousands of family members and victims. And guess what? They all have the same questions, and there's a link. I didn't lose a loved one on that horrific day, Mr. President, and neither did you. But since then, I, along millions of other Americans, lost something we held true and dear for most of our lives, and that is the great country of ours. We lost our hope. Obama, and I'd like to believe that I am here to restore that hope, to restore confidence in our leaders, in the system that the voting public choose through the peaceful transfer of power. Sheen, Mr. President, are you aware that the number of days it took to begin the investigation of JFK assassination? Obama, if memory serves me correctly, 2 weeks. Sheen, close, 17 days. And what about the investigation of Pearl Harbor? And he says again, about 2 weeks. Close, sir. 11 days to be exact. Are you aware that, Mr. President, how long it took to begin investigation of 9/11? Obama, I know it must have seemed like a very long time for all that grieving.